Welcome everyone back to lytudiep channel. Thank you for coming back. Jame disappeared. No response. No calls. Will he come back? The connection between Jame and lytudiep is gone. Lytudiep will not leave, but she will have to try and continue because she has a daughter and a future waiting. Will this poor girl be able to overcome this challenge or not? Let's wait and see. The rain fell gently on the old tin roof, washing away the dust that lingered after a long night. In a small, quiet countryside house, lytudiep sat by the window, her gaze lost in the grey horizon. Beside her, little Nee, the orphaned girl she had taken in and raised like her own, was gently scrubbing her hands in a basin of soapy water. Diep leaned in to help her dry them, her voice soft. Careful, make sure you wash them properly, or germs will stick to your hands. Nee looked up with wide, innocent eyes and nodded, smiling. In that moment, Diep felt something tighten in her chest. That smile was too pure, too full of trust. She knew then, more than ever, that no matter what happened, she couldn't leave this child behind. Not far away, in another small home, voices were raised in frustration. An older brother paced back and forth, furious with his teenage sister who had just returned after staying out all night. She was 17, maybe 18, old enough to know better, but still too young to understand. He scolded her for wasting money, for partying, for modifying her motorbike with 40 million VND while their home barely had enough to get by. Mom and Dad are gone, he said, his voice cracking. It's just us now. You have to help me. I can't do this alone. But she snapped back. Her friends had bikes worth over 100 million, and their parents never complained. They have parents, he said bitterly. We only have each other. She didn't reply. Tears welled up. But pride held her chin high. She turned and walked out the door, back in the quiet rhythm of Diep's world. She and little Nee began their day harvesting pumpkins. They worked side by side, then carried baskets to the market to sell. Each pumpkin sold for just 5.000 VND. But every sale was a little triumph, a small step toward clothes, food, and dignity. The townspeople stopped, smiled at Nee's politeness, and handed over small bills with kind words. After selling enough, Diep bought me a few new outfits. They shared a bowl of noodles and a sweet dessert under the grey afternoon sky. Nee beamed, her cheeks round and rosy. Today was fun, wasn't it, Auntie? Later, a stranger arrived at their home. He claimed to be a client of the company Diep once worked for, the company led by James, the man who had once promised her a better future. The man spoke with charm at first, but soon laid 20 million VND on the table. I need a favor, he said quietly. Help me falsify some construction documents. Diep's face fell. The weight of the money tempted her, but she shook her head. I'm sorry, she said. This company is honest, and I owe James more than I can explain. I won't betray that. That night, she called James. He answered, his voice tired, distant. He was still overseas, buried in work. She told him about the house frame being finished, about little Nee still waiting to be reunited with her family. He apologized for not calling sooner. She told him it was okay. Take care of yourself, she said. I'll keep things steady here. And that was the last time she heard from him. After that, James disappeared. No messages, no calls, no return. Diep knew then, James wasn't coming back. The promise he made, to support her, to help rebuild, to return, was gone. Maybe it was never real to begin with. But she didn't hate him. She didn't even resent him. Some people leave not because they don't care, but because they belong to a world so far removed from yours that coming back simply slips away. She had once considered leaving too, walking away from it all. But then she remembered Nee's tiny hand holding hers at the market, her laughter over a bowl of sweet soup, The way she called Auntie with so much love and trust. Diep couldn't leave. Not because of James, but because of the little girl sitting beside her now, the one who had nothing and no one, but looked at Diep like she was the entire world. The rain kept falling, but it no longer felt cold. Diep sat down beside me, gently brushing the child's hair, then moved to the stove to cook dinner. In their small kitchen, the sound of vegetables sizzling, water boiling, and a child's quiet laughter filled the space like music. James might never return, and his promise might have faded with time. But life went on, and Diep had chosen her path, because real love doesn't need a promise, it simply stays.
Thôi phát nào, cho nó đứng nào, phát nào, đít nào. Bao đồ vào. Cái này cứ ăn từng cái này. Biết trước rồi.
Đi lại tường rồi.
nó tổ cái khẩn giết thôi thế nó mới ta khẩn rồi đó
chị anh máy nhà anh
chị anh lại bảo là mang ra đây để anh nghe
tắt rồi chị
thôi nhá nhắn tin thôi nhá.
Dạ chị ơi em đang like hay đang làm gì đấy em đang bận. Này nội dung nước ngoài xem mà. Nói em. Xem nó bị hỏng nhiều không? Bớt nó 50. cái nào ní
gấu đi cắn người. Cắn cô giáo à? Cháu đi học với cô giáo xong cắn cô giáo à? Gấu này.
Mình đừng có ngu. tiền triệu.
sữa đậu khảo chéo mà trồng chéo ban cả mặt nó tìm mình trồng chanh nè trồng chanh nào trồng nữa đây không phải nè thì thế trồng hoạt sinh mà tăng chéo chéo tăng hơn chút tăng hơn bên tục kia lên à được rồi buộc cái thế buộc vào đấy không sợ buộc này cái đấy thì thôi nó không cây bên này rồi buộc lại cái đấy người ta giáo là mất cắt y cái này thì cái gì ở đâu này chạy đâu được.
Chào bạn có những bèn lá.
Mình cắt tiêu để kia với hai cái mình cắt vào là để đó nè chắc đó làm đó nè không có trâu vào đây trâu cái mình xin
Mai chiều gạch còn chưa? sang thì xây kiểu gì đấy còn ba cái tấm này vẫn ở đây.